live, right? Live. I know some of y'all listening in on your phones, listening in on. Your next move, your best move. And so we're gonna kind of hit on purpose, vision, and planning, and just talk about how to collect what you expect in 2015. So it just look, I'm just telling you, call your girls, call your homies, call Mama and them, Nene, Shakrisha, whoever you may know, Brenda, Amy, I don't care, Caitlin, call all of them, or Ray Ray, just call them and tell them, hey, look, get on tonight because you don't want to miss this. It's kind of a little bit different from the topics I normally talk about because I have a concern. Like one of my greatest concerns every year is this: many people go into the New Year's or that last week or so, that last 2 weeks or so, people say, when I go into this next year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And when that next year comes, somewhere in between a rock and a hard place, or in between January and March, to be more specific, and not really in between January and February, uh, many people kind of stop and don't see their goals through and don't really move forward, and in some kind of way get discouraged or get too busy, so they kind of miss out on what they felt like they wanted to do that year. And so many people look at things in terms of personal development. People look at things in regards to education. People want to become more spiritual or more closer to God, or go to church. I mean, it just varies. Others may want to get married this year. I mean, it's all kind of different things. And so when I think about making your next move your best move, I'm serious about that. Because we only got one life to live. One life to live. And if you don't do your best in this life, you're gonna be 50, 60 years old, especially if you're young. You're young, you're around my age. I'm 19 and I'm lying. Uh, However, you're young enough to kind of get around. And when you get to like the winter of your life, not saying you can't do anything when you're in your late 60s or 70s, but some of the things that you could accomplish back in your 20s and 30s, you might not have the strength necessary to do those things. And so then, what comes to mind is I could have, I would have, and I should have. And to me, that's one of those things like, man, it's almost like, why did you think of it? Like if it's something you really wanted to do, then do it. And so I'm gonna try to give you what I feel like tonight that helps me, and I believe the successes that God is affording me to. And I'm gonna give you a few scriptures that I feel like I live by and I really believe in, that makes sense to this particular topic. Um, one of the scriptures that come to mind is in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything, there's a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Now, when I look at the word purpose, to me, when I think of purpose, it's almost it's the reason for a thing. It's Dr. Miles Rowe said it's the original intent of a thing. Um, and so what is the purpose of what you're trying to do? Let me kind of just share something with you real quick. Last year, 2014, my goal was to complete my book. What if I had a father? Was it? Wow, we got a caller already. Let me check this out. Holla at me. This is Mike Dean. Wrong number. They can't be interrupting my show, man. Look, you can't be old maiding me. Okay, so last year I said, I'm gonna focus on, and I learned this from Dr. Ari Vernon. He said, have your big three. What's your big three, or your big four, or your fave five? Like, what are those two or three, even four things that you feel like these are things that I want to accomplish this year? Excuse me, I'm not under the weather, but I feel a little congested a little bit, so excuse me. So what are those three things that you feel like you want to accomplish? And so for me last year, one of my things was to complete my book. That was one thing. Another thing, was to spend more time with my family. So you just got to figure out what are your big three, what are your big four. And then from there, you can kind of look at, okay, it's the next question is, how do I get to that? Because it's like, okay, once I name what I want to do, then how am I going to go forward in that? Because a lot of times people say, okay, I want to go back to school. And then what happens is many people decide not to go to school or pursue it because they to a fear of failure. People don't move forward because they feel like they don't have the resources to go back to school or to buy a house. I mean, it's just so many different goals that people have, and they don't move on it because of lack of resources and fear of what I don't have, fear of just different people just make too many excuses for me. I'm the type of guy. You know what? I'm gonna fail my way to the top. Right? Like, for example, jumping on this radio show. I never knew nothing about radio shows. I'm not a radio show dude, but I got goals. So I wasn't scared. I said, look, I'm gonna learn, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to speak in the microphone. I'm learning how to really plan with my assistant that really helps me out, keeps my Facebook page rolling on my author page and puts all those things out there. So we kind of working through some things, trying to create a rhythm for our life. And I feel like that's where I want people to get to, especially at my church and people abroad, is you want to get to a place in life where you have a flow. You are walking in a flow. You're actually feeling like that you're accomplishing something every day. Like, it's like every day I'm accomplishing something. It don't always have to be something big, but it's those small steps, because the Bible says the small foxes that destroy the vine. Martin Luther King said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. So many people feel like, since I don't see, right? Because I don't see it, then it's something that that's unachievable. That's a lie. That's not the truth. If you don't see it, and I'm talking about in reality, you don't see, like, okay, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't know the right people. Get out there and get your hustle on. Get out there and get your hustle on. So I think I got some practical steps, and I'm gonna just share what I feel like I know and what helped me. But the first thing, you just got to name what you want to do. What are those things you want to do? And I wouldn't put too many. Let's say you name like 10 things you wanted to do this year. Then I would take the top 2 or 3 of those things and knock those out first. Those would be the two or three things that I would knock out first. I would do everything I can to knock those things out first. Because from when you know what the purpose of a thing is and the reason why you're doing it, then you go to goals. You go to your goals, and you set goals for you set goals, and then from your goals you go to what's called objectives, and your objectives are there to say, okay, by this date I will do this. By this time, I will have this accomplished. And so you just kind of want to look at it in more detail. And it's also a way of holding yourself accountable. It's holding yourself accountable. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. You got to write it down. Put it in your phone, put it in your computer, write it down in a tablet. You got to write it down, and it got to be something you want to do. Like, I would say, out of those things that you want to do, make sure it's something that you feel like you're going to enjoy. Do put something out there that you feel like, man, if I do this, like, this is something I really, really want to see happen in my life. So if you want to buy a house, for example, if you want to buy a house, then, and I'm not like an expert in real estate or anything, but if you want to buy a house, you got to look at, okay, what are the steps for me to buy a house? What are the steps? I connect with a realtor. They pull my credit. They see how much money I make. They want to see how long you've been on your job. It's a whole bunch of different things that a process that you have to go through. And so you can go ahead and look and say, hey, you know what, I need to knock these things off my credit, and I want to get my credit up before I purchase a home. I make the money, but I don't have the credit. To see that I preach. So you just look at your life and just start putting it in order, putting it in perspective, and then you just hit one thing at a time, one day at a time. And it's not always like the big giant stuff you got to always tackle. It's those little small things, like the little phone calls you got to make, Googling information, words you may not understand, calling somebody to get information from, and get some wisdom so that you can actually understand what you're trying to do, especially in that particular area. So if you want to start your own business this year, what kind of business is it? What's the market in your community? What are my goals in that particular business? How much money do I want to make? How many staff do I need to have to pull this off? What are my policies and procedures going to look like? Who do I go to get a loan? How do I create a business plan? And so you got to put all those things and prioritize it. And, sometimes many people already working a job. People got 2 and 3 kids. They got family. They married, and so you got to work around certain things and just spend as much time as you can without overdoing yourself. I'm not going to lie. For me, my dreams are so big at times, I feel like I overdo myself. I'm not going to lie. But I feel there's a fulfillment that I feel like I feel this void, and it keeps me busy. A lot of people I know, they say what they want to do, but they procrastinate, and it bothers me because many people have great ideas. They have good connections, and people just move too slow. I don't know. Maybe that's just Columbus. I love y'all. I love my peeps in Columbus, but sometimes people just move too slow. I know you got to be strategic. You got to do your research, but you got to go after it sometime, and don't be afraid to mess up. We all mess up. It reminds me of when I used to run track, and I wasn't like the fastest dude in the world or nothing like that, but I did the long jump. And a long jump, you have to do about you got to run real fast, and then as fast as you can, and then you do like 2 small jumps, 2 or 3 small little jumps, and then you do this. Then you jump as far as you can from those 2 or 3 small little jumps. And what they say is once you land, they say you can fall, but don't fall backwards, fall forward, because they're gonna mark how far you went based on wherever your hands or your feet are. So your hands are behind, your body is your hands. If you fall backwards, then they're gonna measure you from your hands. If you fall forward, they're gonna measure you from your feet. It's cool to fall, but fall forward. Fall forward knowing that, hey, I accomplished this goal. Now I gotta research it. I gotta analyze myself. I gotta look at my life and say, man, okay, What did I do there? What did I do wrong? I should have really listened to all those steps that one of my mentors told me. Because sometimes, like for me, I'm one of those dudes. Like I get an idea, I want to run with it, I want to go, and that's to me a lot of times that's when I make most of my mistakes. But when I go and I get counsel from good mentors, mentors like John Dawson, that's one of my favorite guys, Dr. Walters, you know, Bishop Pierce, Apostle Deli. I mean, I have mentor Dorothy Starr. I got mentors all over the place. Watch this. I got mentors in almost every category of my life. I got mentors. I'm a pastor, so I have mentors that help me pastor. That gives me good advice. That gives me sound advice, encouragement, things of that nature. As far as being a pastor, I have mentors that help mentor me through my marriage. I have mentors. The program Youth Build that I direct. I have mentors there to help me understand how to run the program, how to be in, keep my policies and things intact. So, when we apply for government grants and things of that nature, we'll be in good position to make sure we have the outcome and things that we need for those particular things. So I have mentors in every part phase of my life. And so whatever your big two or three are, you might not have one person. One person may not be able to mentor you in all those areas. You might have to stumble into a mentor at a library or something while you read. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You see somebody that look like they know, hey man, what do you think about this? Hey, I need some help. What do you think about it? Some people might not want to help you, but you got to take what you can get and work with that. Um, One of the things I love about the late Dr. Miles Monroe, he said, in every tree, and not in every tree, but in every seed, there's a forest. So, in other words, you have purpose in you, but it's up to you to take that seed from seed form to becoming a forest. And so, when I think about making your next move your best move. Sunday, I was talking about thinking, and I was talking about thinking, and the topic I preached was that was then, and this is now. And what all I was trying to say is, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Who you are is a result of your thoughts. Who you are, how you feel about yourself. Others can feel however they want to feel about me, but what matters the most is how I feel about me. How do I believe in me? And how do I see God? Like, how do I like sometimes I don't have nobody. I feel like that. Like sometimes you feel like, hey, I don't have nobody. My kids is getting on my nerves. My husband getting on my nerves. My wife getting on my nerves. My job is getting on my nerves. I want to quit. I want to do this and that. But at the end of the day, how do you feel about you? How do you feel about the goals that you are setting? Are you always trying to better yourself, or you just kind of just want to chill and let everything come to you? I'm gonna just let it come. I'm gonna just let it come. Or you gonna have the eye of the tiger and do something with it. This scripture really hit me, man, the other day. This scripture in Isaiah says, Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 and 19. And normally, I kind of hit the real hardcore topics, but I just got to give you this tonight. It says, do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, watch this, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. In other words, there is something new that can happen, but you got to be available and willing to take the necessary steps to make it happen. So many people just probably right now, I guarantee you somebody on the phone, like sitting there listening, I got love for you and all that. But are you doing your best? Are you, like TD Jake said, are you maximizing your moments? Or when you, because I think the late Pastor Carl said, he said, the day you lay off is the day God pays off. And so many people want to chill, and you can make stuff happen in your life. Some people say, man, I'm broke. You broke. A lot of people broke because they don't try. Okay. The Bible says people perish for the lack of knowledge. Let me PMDize and let me Mike Dean this. This is what I'm gonna say. That's how I'm gonna interpret it. People are broke because of the lack of knowledge. People are broke mentally, physically and economically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it. People are broke because they don't think, they don't go after, they don't study those things. You got to get books and stuff to study those your craft. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to be a preacher." You don't study. You can't say, "I want to run a business," and don't talk to other business people and go to school and try to get all the information you want that you need to get for the business. You can't do this alone. That somebody got the knowledge to give you and to help you along the way. You're not gonna get to where okay. You're not going to get where you want to go by yourself. You're gonna need a Joseph. Uh-oh. You're gonna need somebody that been there, somebody that can interpret your dreams, somebody that's sitting by the king that say, "Hey, you know what? This guy named Joseph, I remember him. He was in prison. He interpreted my dreams. He said that one day I was gonna get out of here and I was gonna get my seat back as the cupbearer of the king." And years later, Joseph like, look, even before that, Joseph said, "Look, dude, when I interpret this dream, I want you to remember me when you go to the king. When you get your job back, don't forget about me, man. I'm locked up in here. And I don't know about y'all being locked up. Everybody that's locked up that I know of want to get out." So Joseph in prison, he like, "Hey, I can't take it in here. Look, I'm gonna do this for you, but and it's from God. God is giving me this revelation for your life. However, I'm gonna need you to look out for me when you go to the king." And so your boy Joseph is sitting there for years waiting on this dude. It's almost like the movie Life. Martin and oh my God, Eddie Murphy was waiting for a long time to get out of prison. They even try to use the one dude that was deaf that was playing baseball, and they try to use him to get out, and they couldn't. They made little airplanes and everything. And what blessed me with that, when I think about that movie, what blessed me is although they didn't get out to the end of the movie, they tried during the whole time of the movie. They failed almost every time. But that one time, it just takes that one time to get it. That one time to get a breakthrough. That one time to meet the right person. That one person can help change your life and the course of your destiny. So you got to keep yourself in the right place, in the right position, with a plan, moving, feeling good about yourself, positive, and staying focused on what God has planned for your life. I done went off. I was by accident. So before I kind of take a commercial, and remember, the call-in number is 614-577-1434, 614-577-1434. Remember, you got to make your next move your best move. Aren't you tired of each and every year you say, "Hey man, I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to go into the new year. I'm going to make this happen." And then all of a sudden it don't work out. I'm here to tell you it can happen. You got to stay focused. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. It has to be strategic. You have to have goals, and you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to pray over it. You have to meditate over it. You got to research. You got to eat that thing every day. You got to see. For me, when I have certain goals, I put it in my face every day. For example, my book, I put the cover as my screensaver because I'm like, every day I need something to remind me of where I'm going. Although I'm not there yet, I need to see something every day. So as I push the button or somebody's calling, I can see my book cover and I'm saying, you know what? Hey, today I may be down, today I may be broke, I may take a pay cut, no matter what it is, but I got something that's coming through the pipelines and I'm getting myself ready for it, because you gotta be ready for it. You gotta be ready for it, but if you're not prepared for it, a wise man said, prepare for war in time of peace, not in time of battle. Not in time of battle. So again, before I go to commercial, I want you to just write this number down, 614-577-1434, 1434. We're talking about New Year's resolutions, making your next move your best move, and going out there making something happen in your life. You are valuable. You are important. You are your most important asset. You are a resource. I don't care if you broke. I don't care if you're on welfare. I don't care if you work on Wall Street. It don't matter who you are. You can make something happen in your life. You are somebody. You are special. You are creative, and God made you to be somebody in this lifetime. So we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break, and then we'll be back in a few moments. Holla at your.
Hi, I'm Choice Young. I'm Calvin Offo, and you're listening to Everything Church on His Radio. Tune in, create online. Monday, 8:30 a.m. sharp to 9:30. It's very important. Come join us. Let's talk. Let's divide. Let's understand what it means to be a child of God. Also, get up ready, putting on your clothes, going to church. It's a good time to listen to us. Welcome to us. And look at us live on YouTube as well. So we're going to go for a while for on your way to church. This is Kelvin. And this is Charles Young. Call in 614-577-1434. All the way to church. You're 18 to 24 and looking for a change? Then Franklin County Youth Board is the place for you. It is known for its healthy family-like environment. You will earn while you learn with $1,000 a month earning potential and up to $1,200 towards college. Franklin County Youth Board offers GED prep, career and job readiness, construction training, and placement assistance. Call 222-4705. Stop in at 1394 Courtright Road or go to fcyouthbuild.org. Sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. Franklin County Youth Board is an equal opportunity program. Jesus, I will speak of your glory. I will show forth your beauty. If I dance, it will be enough. If I shout, it will be enough. I will speak of your glory. I will show forth your beauty. If I dance, it will be enough. If I shout, it will be enough. You rule the great and mighty. You rule in every nation. Christ the Son is Lord. You are worthy to be praised. You are Lord forever. I worship you today. In you I put my trust. You be my will and stars. Every space of your glory, every end of your beauty, your love is new every morning, and your faithfulness is never short. I say every space of your glory, every end of your beauty, your love is new every morning, and your faithfulness is never short. You are the great and the great. So ready to be made. You're the joy of the worship. You are the joy of the Lord. You are the great and mighty God. So ready to be made. Hallelujah. My dream on a video. My dream on a video. Hallelujah.
Okay, your boy's back. Your boy is back. Holla at me. Listen, man. We talking about making your next move your best move. From vision to reality, from the hood to the bank. I'm telling you. Listen, I just got a text, and before I go into it, remember, here's the call in number: 614-577-1434. 614-577-1464 is the second number, and 614-377-4592 is the text number. You can text. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Listen, somebody gonna text me, man. I like this. This is cold. This is cold. If I could turn this phone on. Uh, okay. Watch this. This person said this. They said, with so many obstacles, how do you know that the next move is your best move? That's a good question. And whoever wrote that question, I don't like you that much. I really don't, because you gave me a tough question to try to respond to. However, for me, right? For me, I look at what am I most passionate about? Like in my life, like what am I passionate about? Like things like it's something that I just it's this is the thing that I want to do, or when I do this, it makes me happy. I can do it, those things that you can do, and it's easy for you. You're able to just kind of get in there and make it happen. And so for me, when I look at my life, I'm so passionate. I'm so passionate about what if I had a father, because I can see beyond the book. See, when you looking at your next move, you got to see beyond the thing. See beyond the thing, because it leads to other stuff. Remember I said in every tree there's a forest. So in every tree there's a forest. So that seed that's planted in the ground is that thing. But from that thing, you can produce other trees and other seeds from that. So for me, I have to look at, okay, what am I passionate about? What do I, like when I used to be on the National Youth Build USA's National Alumni Council. I was on that council for like 8 or 9 years, and I got to give a shout out to my National Alumni Council and Youth Build USA Alumni Association homies. I love y'all, man. Antonio, Jamie, Julian Ramirez, Calvin B, all y'all, man. Hey, look, I love y'all, but I'm back on my show. So I was passionate about. Watch this. I'm passionate about making things happen. And for me, again, I had to look at. I said, okay, this is my book. What am I going to do? Do I have the money for it? What do I have the money to do? What's realistic? Because you do got to kind of use the whole smart thing. Smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and testable. So you got to look at, all right, what's realistic for me? What can I really do? What can I do on my own? What can I do with with other folk? And I need to be able to measure this. I need to be able to have different points in my life or benchmarks to say, okay, I made it here. Because if you have benchmarks, then once you get to a certain place, you can look back. But if you never move, you can't look back. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I just said. If you don't move, you can't look back. And watch this. You gotta have a dream or a vision. You gotta have a dream, because if your dreams don't happen because it is starved by the lack of action. Dreams don't happen because it's starved by the lack of action. If you don't take action, if you know who I'm talking to right now. If you don't take action, you ain't gonna hit that million. If you don't take action, you ain't gonna own those houses. If you don't take action, you gonna stay broke. You gonna stay unmarried. If you don't take action, you're married. Like okay, let's say somebody got a messed up marriage. You know your marriage messed up, but you're so prideful, saying, "I don't want to get no counseling. I'm a man. We're gonna hold it on. I'm a man. We're gonna handle our own business." A real man that say, "Hey, I got problems. Hey, I'm not being the best me I can be. Baby, let's go get some help, because, hey, if we don't get no help, you going to leave me, or this is not going to work." And we got our kids watching us argue, cussing each other out. We got mom and them. My mom don't like you. Your mom don't like me. You know how people take sides. And then all of the relationships that you came like you that happened when you guys came together. All those things, people start taking sides. So you got to get help when you know you got help. So I went way off course. I hope I didn't. But when I look at what's the best move for me, what is the thing that I'm most passionate about? What are the things that I need? Like sometimes it's what I need. What do I need to have happen in my life? If I'm sitting, I remember the three dudes that in the Book of Kings, the three dudes that were lepers. They outside of the camp. The Syrian army is right there. That's not letting people in or out. And the lepers, they got to be outside of the camp anyway because they got this illness. They can't even roll up in the camp. And so it's already a famine in the land. And so these dudes sit here like, wow, we're gonna starve. If we don't go make a move, we're gonna starve. We're gonna die anyway because we got this sickness. So shall we sit here and die? Shall we sit here and die? Let's go into the camp and go and get something to eat. I'm hungry. Ooh, are you hungry for what you want? How hungry are you for it? Because if you don't got no hunger for it, you ain't going after it. It's only gonna last for so long. You have to have an appetite for that thing. Whatever that thing is, you gotta have an appetite for it. Oh God. I'm about to preach by accident. I already feel it. Man, my stomach is growling for the next thing in my life. My stomach is growling for my millions. My stomach is growling for my church to blow up. My stomach is growling for folk to get saved. My stomach is growling for folk to come out of debt. My stomach is, oh my God. Touch your neighbor. You buy somebody, slap them and say, my stomach is growling. Yeah, my stomach is growling because I got a taste for something. I got a taste for success. I got a taste to walk in my purpose. I got a taste for it. I got a taste for it. And I'm not going, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. I'm not going to sit here and let the devil rob me out of what God has placed in me. You're too gifted to be down. You're too gifted to keep crying yourself to sleep. You're too gifted to keep feeling like you ain't worth nothing. You're too gifted. God is saying, get up, pull yourself together, and look at yourself, dust yourself off, and say, I'm still here, I'm still alive, and I can make something happen in my life. I'm not gonna let nobody tell me I can't no more. If you tell me I can't, then you ain't supposed to be in my crew anyway. In fact, I'm gonna use that as energy because let your haters give you energy. Goodness. Y'all don't like this show. Y'all don't like this show. So for me, I think I answered the question. You gotta have a hunger for it. You gotta have a passion for it. And you gotta know what you want. How you gonna aim at something if there's no target? You gotta have a target. Many people say, you want to do something, but you don't even know what that is. I want to go shopping. I want to go do this. Man, look, whatever that thing is, pull yourself together and go after it. Learn all you can learn about it. Research it, like I said. Get mentors that know about it. Meet people that know about it. Ask questions. Take notes. Go to YouTube. Learn. I mean, it's all kind of things you can do to learn about whatever you're trying to get into. Me, I ain't never write no book. It's my first book, but this ain't my last book. From this book, I got like 5 more books that's gonna come out at least in the next 2 years after this one come out. This one I'm pushing out. I'm going to hold 9 months on this one. But when I birth this thing, a lot of other stuff gonna come quick because I understand the process. And what many people, one of the things, and one of the reasons why people don't accomplish their goals or don't go after it because they are not just because they're scared, because they don't feel like dealing with the process. They don't feel like dealing with the process. And if you don't feel like dealing with the process, then you need to go find something else that you can have some passion about and go after it. Anybody want to call in? Call in. The number is 614-577-1434. 614-577-1434. You can text at 614-377-4592. And I'm telling you, man, at the end of the day, you can make it. At the end of the day, you can make it. but you got to know what you want and you got to believe in it, and you can't let nobody tell you you can't. And you can't, and even if people tell you you can't, you can't let that like really sink into your spirit. You can't let that sink into your mind and accept it. I don't accept negative stuff, man. Now constructive criticism is different because it's trying to teach me something. But to just flat out say, you know what, you're not worth it. I had people when I was a helper at Youth Build, and my one of my goals was to be the director one day. I knew it wasn't gonna happen in my first year because I didn't know enough. So I had to learn the business. I had to be around it, and it took me a while. There were people that were mentors of mine I looked up to that said, "You can't do this. You need to go get another job somewhere. This is something you can't do." And don't get me wrong, at times it was hurting me because I'm like, man, I really believe in you. You somebody I really look to for advice. You know, gave me good information about certain things. Now you telling me I can't. You know, you telling me I can't, and I was kind of down. I had to look at myself and say, you know what? I can do this. I am more than a conqueror. I can do this. Nothing. There's nothing I can't do if I don't put my mind to. And really, is there anything too hard for God? You know, I always try to do my best to keep God first. Even in all of this stuff, things I'm doing now on the radio, I always think about like what God wants for me to do. You know, but I try not to over spiritualize it because it's not that type of talk show. I want to hit real issues, and so we got like 2 more days, a day and a half before New Year's come. Make up your mind what you want to do, and you got to go after. If you're gonna go to school, don't be talking about I'm gonna go back to school. I enroll sometime next year. No, tomorrow go and enroll and fill out your paperwork and start the process. Go talk to somebody. Talk to a representative. At least call and see what you got to do. Like you got to go do something. It ain't just gonna come. It's not just gonna come. You got to go make it happen. And your education just not gonna fall like manna and quail. It's not going to fall from the sky like that. You got to go after it. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. So, so how do you feel about yourself? How do you like? Where is your mind right now? Like, really do a self-assessment. Are you really living your life to the fullest? Are you really being the best you can be? Are you really taking advantage of your skill set and those mentors and even your peers around you that can help, and people that you can help as well? Are you? I mean, think about it. Like, am I where I want to be in life? And if not, then you gotta ask your question. You gotta ask yourself the question: Why? Why am I not where I want to be? Why am I not on that path? Like, what am I not doing? What have I not done? And what do I need to undo or redo to make my dream come to pass? Sometimes you just got to scrap the whole building and start all over. One of the worst things to do in construction that I learned is not, and I'm talking about in the rehab, is not to fully gut it. If you just try to go slap some paint on the wall and you just try to go install toilets and outlets and things, man, you don't know what's going on behind those walls. You can have leaks all over the place. So it's best just to go in there and spend the money now up front instead of spending the money later. You gotta go in there and gut the whole thing. So some things in your life you gotta just gut and tear it all the way down and then start from scratch. Period. So and read good books, man. Read good books, man. Read good books. Stay focused. Keep your dream in front of you. You know, understand that you are like somebody valuable. You are your most valuable asset. You know, you are your most valuable asset. And when it comes to like your dream or vision you have, a business or whatever you trying to start, no, come on, Art Vernon. Nobody gonna love it more than you. I'm sorry, I got love for all my peeps out there, all over the country, all over the world. But you don't love Holla at Me more than me. You don't love Power City more than me. God put that in me. So I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna be the last man standing. Are you willing for the cause that you want to have happen in your life? Do you want to be the last man standing, or are you gonna jump ship? That's why you gotta be careful and you gotta take advantage of your thoughts. Because everything you do and have done is a result of your thoughts. How do you think? How do you think? Are you a giving up type of person? Do you make excuses? Listen, man. One thing I learned in life and is I make less excuses. I make adjustments. Make adjustments. Excuses are excuses. Excuses is going to delay the time. It's going to waste time, and you don't got time to be wasting it. Time is precious. Time is God didn't make time for it to be wasted. And I think many people feel like, I got time. You don't got time. People dying all the time. People are going out of season all the time. You gotta put. You gotta say, man. Right now, I have the strength for this. Now I have the wherewithal for this. Now I have the connections for it. Now it's set up for you for a reason. So you got to go ahead and put yourself in position and go out there and do it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen, but you got to learn from them. The race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to he that endures to the end. It don't matter how strong you may think you are. It doesn't matter how fast you think you are. It's about how long can you withstand. Are you all terrain? Yeah, see, when you buy tires for like in Columbus, we have all kind of weather. So I like buying all terrain, like the tires that can go for any kind of any weather conditions, because I know I'm gonna be able to function properly in those conditions. What happens is people wanna ride in the snow in some 20-inch rims. No, you gotta change your tires. You gotta change your wheels. You gotta change your thinking. And in order to change your thinking, you gotta find something wrong with your thinking and challenge it. Because you can't change something you don't challenge. If it's not challenged, it won't change. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on your life. Don't give up on your dream. Always have high expectations for yourself. Believe in who you are. I don't care if you don't have a GED. I don't care if you got a PhD. I don't care if you're in prison. I don't care. I don't care who you are. You can still make something happen in this life. I know I'm always calling Tupac Shakur. That's cool. Somebody laughing. But he said something, and I like saying this quote. He said, I peeped the weakness in the game, then sold it. In other words, he said, I looked at what people weren't doing, and I mastered that before anybody can get to it. And so what happened was he had a monopoly over that part of the rap industry. What are you doing so you can have a monopoly over something? I don't know. You might not be liking me tonight, but it's all good. And it's funny because I know a lot of people, and honestly, those of you that are listening, and I haven't returned any of your calls or anything like that, I love you. I just been busy on what I need to do right now. I've been focusing on my family. I've been focusing on my goals and certain things. I just don't have time to talk all the time. I can't sit there and talk for 2 hours no more. I got stuff that I gotta knock out, and I'm focused. I'm focused on that thing. You gotta find your focus. Focus on it, and you can't tell everybody all your stuff because people can talk you out of your dream. People can talk you out your dream or even slow you down by just kind of giving you reasons why it won't work. And sometimes those seeds get implanted in your mind, planted in your spirit, and then boom, you don't move on it. But you got to know this thing that's in me. I believe in it. If you want to start a restaurant, man, and you got something you can cook that's good, look, put it on the menu. But don't cook stuff you can't cook. You know what I mean? If you're gonna start a barber shop or something, put it in a place where people can see the sign. You know what I mean? Like you gotta think. You know, some people are. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start that. Okay, and they started, but nobody will know you there. You know, nowadays you got social media. You gotta market. You gotta save money. You gotta keep money in the bank. I don't care if you got $20 in the bank. You gotta add to that $20. Put five this check. Put 15 that check. If you making good money, always save some money. Save money. I don't know why I said that, but that was for free. So again, make your next move, and I'm gonna close in a moment. Make your next move your best move. Man, I'm telling you, this year for me, I just feel I'm so excited. I'm full of expectation. I know this year is one of those years I will not be denied. Like, I feel like I'm set up for it. I'm set up to sit in the press box now. I'm set up. I'm set up. And you gotta set your life up so it's almost like playing chess. You gotta, before you can go after the king and get a checkmate, you have to put your pieces in position. Goodness. You got to put your pieces in position, because when it's in position, right? When your pieces are in position, then you have angles that you can attack. The thing. In terms of chess, the king. You got to go after, but you got to be strategic. You have to write it. You have to prioritize it. You have to set goals. You have to put your objectives in perspective. You gotta set a timeline. You gotta put benchmarks together, and you gotta say, by this date I need to do this. By that date I need to do this. I need to call this person. I need to call that person. I need to write 5 paragraphs today. Today I just need to focus on my policies and procedures. Today I need to focus on doing my website stuff. You got to write it all down. You got to do a needs assessment. What are all the things that I need to have happen in this? What do I need to make it happen? And then from that, you can do a cost analysis to look and say, okay, this is going to cost that. That's going to cost this. So I'm going to roughly spend about $500, $600, $700. So you'll know where your money is going. So when you start, you can negotiate and say, hey, look, you got somebody that want to do that can do a website for you. They charge $800. You can say, look, I got 600 cash right now. Because you know your budget for it. So, and then you can research the market to see the going rates. Then you can kind of put yourself, find a median and say, okay, if the going rate, I'm just throwing this out there, for a website is $1,000. And the median is about 800. You can kind of, like, you got to look at your life like that. You got to put it in perspective, and you got to go after it, and you got to believe in your dream. Because everybody is not going to always believe in your dream, and that's cool. Like, you can't, like, nobody don't believe in me. Okay. Everybody's not supposed to believe in you. Everybody's not supposed to have the endurance with what you're supposed to endure. Everybody's not supposed to carry all your weight for your dream. And your dream and your vision, your victory, your provision, all of that is in there. You just got to go after it, and things will happen. Last story. It was a prophet by the name of Elijah, and Elijah was running from old girl Jezebel, because he caused a famine to come and all that, and Jezebel was out trying to kill him, and Jezebel sent a whole bunch of people in her army to try to kill this particular prophet, but he ran into a wilderness, and the Lord told him that when you get there, I'm going to send a raven. I'm going to send a bird to bring you food. Well, if dude didn't start running and going to that place where he's supposed to, that next place, then he wouldn't have got fed. So the Lord said, when you get there, so when his time was up in that place, then the Lord said, I want you to go to Zarephath, and there'll be a woman there, a widow woman, and she's going to give you the last of what she has. but you got to go there. See, what people don't understand is, in order to make things happen, you got to move. In order to see things happen in your life, you have to make a move. Now, okay, if you feel like, all right, yeah, I already know, man, I'm gonna do what I do, and then next year you at the same place this time next year talking about I want to do the same thing. You should not want to do the same thing that you're doing. You should not be trying to set the same goal over and over again. Knock this goal out, and then go after something else the following year. That's my advice. Take it how you want to take it. Listen, it helped me. Although I didn't have everything like typed up on the screen in the PowerPoint, I just want to kind of give you some food for thought, some nuggets to think about, because it is very, very important and very vital that you take advantage of your life. Remember, you have only one of these to live. We've lost loved ones. We've lost friends. We've lost people that are people of influence. Don't be somebody that died with all of this stuff, all of these gifts, and boom, you sitting there on your deathbed talking about, man, I could have did that. Do it while you're strong. Do it while you got the knowledge and the wisdom. Do it while you have the support. Go out there and do it. If you got a book and you start writing it, write it. Just write. Just write. Right till you get tired. Wake up in the middle of the night. When I was writing my book, I was up. I'm telling you, I was up in the middle of the night. I'll be up 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Get up at 5, just writing. Just I get a thought. I'm like, I can't sleep on this thought. I gotta get up and write this down because it's in my head. And there's been several times where I have a strong thought in my head, and I end up typing 4 or 5 pages in about, I don't want to tell you because I type slow, but as fast as I can type, so it's up to you. It's up to you how far you're going to go. It's up to you. So if you want to stay where you are, be my guest. Not me. Not me. I have too many people to help. I have homeless shelters to build. I have programs that I got to build to help people that are adjudicated or ex offenders. I got too much stuff to do, and I can't sit here and let my dreams die because somebody say I can't, or being lazy and procrastinating, waiting for somebody else to get there for me to go. No, you got to pull yourself together and make it happen, and trust God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Let God arise and his enemies be scattered. Pull yourself together and build your life. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing. I want to pray before I go, and I just want you to have a blessed New Year's. Like, I want you to walk into this year in victory, and knowing, like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give my best. I might not accomplish all my goals, but I'm gonna go in this and do this thing, and I'm gonna give it my all, and I'm just gonna work as hard as I can to make it happen. So listen, I just want to pray. Somebody right now is feeling down. Like, look, man, Mike Dean, I'm just, and I done made some decisions that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bounce back from. I'm going through this issue. I just don't know how I'm gonna come out of this. Well, Father, I pray and I thank you for those people out there that just kind of just losing hope and have lost hope and lost perspective. Father, I just thank you for this new year that's coming. And I just pray that you touch their lives, you touch their minds. I decree and declare that this coming year they will walk in total victory, that they will get their joy back and get their strength back and get their vision back. God, even tonight, God, I just pray that you send an angel to speak to somebody's heart, give them a message in the name of Jesus. And so before I conclude this prayer, God, I just ask that you just do me a small favor. Bless all the mothers out there that's trying to raise their children by themselves. Bless all the fatherless children going into this new year. Bless all the college students that don't have enough money to pay their bills and pay their tuitions. God, I just pray right now in the name of Jesus for that man that hasn't been moving like he should. All those gifts, God, touch him. Give him the energy. Give him the wherewithal. Give him the connections and give him the energy to achieve success. And so at the end of the day, Lord, it's all about you, in my opinion. And I love you and I bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Happy New Year's. God bless you. Until next time on Holler at Me. Peace. Peace and love like my boy J.A.